One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Humanity's most famous moment. We landed on the moon, planted a flag, scooped some rocks, and then went home. Mission accomplished. High fives all around. But that wasn't the ending. That was just the trailer. Now comes the sequel. Bigger cast, bigger budget, and way more drama. We're not just going back to the moon. We're gearing up for a full-blown lunar land rush. Think less boldly exploring the cosmos and more cosmic Black Friday, except the prize is a giant dusty rock, and the ticket price is, well, astronomical. So why is everyone suddenly obsessed with the moon again? No, aliens didn't open a Starbucks on the far side. For decades, the moon was treated like a forgotten storage unit, still there, but not worth the trip. Now scientists, governments, and billionaires alike have realized, hey, that giant space rock might actually be useful. The excitement boils down to three things: science, resources, and strategy. First, the science. The moon is basically a time capsule. With no atmosphere and very little geological activity, it has preserved billions of years of solar system history. For researchers, it's like cracking open a cosmic diary. Those craters? They're still there because nothing erases them. No wind, no rain, no shifting plates. Studying them is like flipping through the fossil record of asteroid impacts, giving us clues about the chaos of early Earth. Even the dust, called regolith, holds a record of solar radiation stretching back eons, something we simply can't read from our own planet because Earth keeps wiping its chalkboard clean. Second, the resources. The real showstopper is water ice. Locked away in the permanently shadowed craters at the lunar poles, it's been sitting there for billions of years. And water isn't just for drinking. Split it into hydrogen and oxygen, and suddenly you have rocket fuel and breathable air. That means the moon could double as a pit stop, a space gas station. Imagine rockets refueling there instead of hauling every drop from Earth's gravity well. That's a game changer. Beyond water, the moon may hold valuable minerals, rare earth elements, and even helium-3, a substance rare on Earth but sprinkled across the lunar surface after billions of years of solar wind bombardment. If fusion technology ever works out, and that's still a pretty big if, helium-3 could power almost unlimited clean energy. It's the sci-fi dream buried in lunar dust like a winning lottery ticket you can't quite cash yet. Suddenly, the moon isn't just a scientific playground, it's potentially an energy farm and mining frontier, with billionaires and companies already eyeing it like prospectors of the space age. And then there's the strategy, which is where things really get complicated. The moon is prime real estate. Whoever controls the polar ice builds the first permanent bases and sets up the lunar highways for future missions to Mars will gain a massive advantage. Think of it as the ultimate high ground, not just militarily, but economically and politically as well. In the Cold War, going to the moon was about bragging rights. Now it's about shaping the future of space itself. In other words, the first countries to set up shop won't just be exploring, they'll be writing the rulebook for humanity's next chapter. Of course, the cast of characters has expanded dramatically since the 1960s. Back then, it was basically the US and the Soviet Union glaring at each other across the void. Today, it's a crowded field. The United States is leading with NASA's Artemis program, building Gateway, a space station in lunar orbit, and planning the first long-term human outposts on the surface. China has been quietly and impressively landing rovers and probes, including the historic Chang'e 4, the first mission to land on the far side in 2019. And Chang'e 6, which returned far-side samples in 2024. India stunned the world in 2023 by landing Chandrayaan-3 near the South Pole, proving you don't need a $1 trillion budget to make history. And then there are the private players, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and countless startups, treating the moon as both a business opportunity and a legacy project. Add Europe, Japan, the UAE, and others into the mix and it's less a duel and more a cosmic free-for-all. But here's the messy part: who actually owns the moon? The 1967 Outer Space Treaty says no nation can claim sovereignty over celestial bodies. It's basically the cosmic no-dibs rule. But the treaty was written back when space travel meant squeezing 3 astronauts into a capsule with freeze-dried meals. It doesn't cover private mining companies or lunar resorts. Right now, we're in a legal gray zone the size of, well, the moon itself. It's the Wild West out there, but instead of horses, we've got multi-billion-dollar rockets, and instead of gold nuggets, we've got water ice and helium-3. The potential for conflict is very real because when money, power, and prestige are on the line, things can get heated fast. But unavoidable truth is that we're all in this crater together. The moon is no longer just a romantic orb hanging in the night sky. It's becoming a laboratory, a refueling depot, a mine, and a strategic outpost. Yes, it will be messy, expensive, and politically complicated. But it's also the next giant leap. This time we're not just visiting. We're moving in and the whole neighborhood is coming along. So buckle up, grab a space helmet, and maybe keep an eye on those lunar development stocks. The moon is back. And this time, it's less about footprints in the dust and more about who gets the best parking spot.